I'm standing on the boat ramp at Greens Lake in northern Victoria, and I'm about to flick some soft plastics and see if I can catch a redfin. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Now this is Greens Lake, near the township of Corop, or near Stanhope in northern Victoria. There's a Greens Lake, there's a Green Lake, there's a Green Swamp, but this is Greens Lake. There's a number of lakes with similar names. Anyway, I'm going to be casting the new Strike Tiger shad in ginger beer colour. I've gone a heavy 1/8 ounce jig head with a size 2 hook. I'm hoping that darker colour sort of silhouettes in this murky water. It's relatively clear here. The water's not filthy. It's just not as clear as other lakes that I fish. Got him. Yes, only been here about 5 minutes. I'm on the board. Might just get a quick photo of him. He's only small, but it might be the only one I catch. Awesome. Rightio, well that was the first fish that I've caught on the new Strike Tiger shad. I knew that these would be good for redfin, and I'll tell you why. If you've watched my videos for a while, you know I love the 3-inch minnow from the Pro Series range. Well, that's what's called a stick bait, and this is also a stick bait. It hasn't got a paddle tail, it hasn't got a curly tail, it doesn't have moving parts, it just comes to an end, but it's a bit floppy, so that when it comes through the water like that, the end flops around, and it's called a stick bait. And this is a stick bait, just like the 3-inch Pro Series minnow, but that's got a tiny weeny forked tail. This hasn't. This is a shorter and fatter stick bait. That's the first fish I've caught on one. I have taken it trout fishing a couple of times, but the trout fishing has been nothing short of horrendous so far this season. I've fished so many streams and I haven't caught any trout, and I think that's one of the reasons I come over here today, where I knew I might have half a chance of catching something. Plus I love it over here. I love these lakes over here in northern Victoria. Constantly trying to get out a little bit further, but the old gumboots haven't got much more in them. I've got about half a metre, I reckon, at most. And that's it. Oh, that was a touch. He's back. Got him. I was actually just about to wipe my eye. This one feels a little bit bigger than the last one. I was just about to wipe my eye. There's something in my eye. I'll fix that now. Might not be bigger, it just felt a bit bigger. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, the fish are getting bigger by about 2 millimeters. It's not much bigger. I don't care, I'm just happy to be catching fish. After a run of fishless adventures up in the hills chasing trout, I'm just happy to be getting a few, to have a few fish on the end of my line. I won't worry about the slow-mo release with you, mate. I'll just get you back so I can keep on fishing. See you later, mate. Oh. I know there are larger fish in this lake. I've just got to be where they are at the same time they're there. I've just got to find them. Oh, you see that? Someone chased it out of there then. I wonder if it's still there somewhere. Well, the wind's picking up, it's getting a bit challenging. How you going? Oh, a couple of really small redfin and that's it. It's a bit slow, it's still a bit cold I think. Oh, mate, I've only been here half an hour, I haven't seen them. They put him before I got here, so yeah. Well, I caught those two fish in about the first 10 minutes of being here. I've been here for an hour since and nothing. The wind has sprung up a bit. I might go down that way. I think I'll still be in the wind, but it With a bit of luck, it might be a little bit sheltered. We'll go and have a look. Right, I've moved up a little bit closer to the lee side of the lake. For those that don't know what that means, when it's windy, the side that the wind is coming from, the wind's coming from that way, that's called the lee side. And the side that the wind is going to, which is down there, is called the fetch side. So it's always rougher on the fetch side and calmer on the lee side. And this sort of area here is about as far that way as I can go. Well folks, I've been here for a couple of hours and the fishing has died right off. I caught 2 quickly, then nothing since. I've tried a few different places. What I might do is go and explore. I'm not sure where I'll go yet. I might end up at nearby Lake Cooper. I'll go and have a look at that. I might go to one of the irrigation channels. I'll just play it by ear. Let's go and see if we can find fish somewhere else. Right, this is Lake Cooper. I love Lake Cooper. Look at all the bird poo on this old boat ramp here. I don't know whether you can see it or not, but there's about 500 grey teal out there. Ducks galore. When I drove in here then, ducks went everywhere and there's so many that it stinks. It actually stinks here at the moment. It's a real strong animal smell. It's like being in the animal pen at the show. Right, this is the main boat ramp at Lake Cooper. A little bit sheltered from the wind here. Or appear to be, unless it's just died down momentarily. Well, no love at Lake Cooper. That's a beautiful place, though. I love Lake Cooper. Anyway, there's a lot of irrigation channels around this region, so I might go and see if I can find an irrigation channel to go fishing in. This is a spot that my friend Rowan from RKJ Fishing told me about. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to drown some worms for a while. I've been flicking lures all morning. I've fished Greens Lake, Lake Cooper. I've been fishing this channel further downstream. So now I'm going to put some worms on and see if that works, because things have been a bit slow. Right, I've got 2 lines here, both rigged up with 2 Janjak worms. This is a running sinker rig and I'm going to put that just out there. There's no need to go out too far because it'll just get swept away in that current. And I'm hoping that'll reach out past that grass, which it does, and the short little stumpy rod can go just down that side. I'm just going to sit here and wait for a fish to come past and say yummo and grab them worms. I just had a nibble on my running sinker rig. We had a gust of wind and it started bouncing around, but then it pulled down sharply. I reckon I might have saw a nibble on the long rod there then. It's hard to tell, it's that windy. There it goes, there it goes. It's a bite. It's got him. What have I got? A little redfin. Well, it's taken me since about 9:30 or 10 o'clock this morning to catch my 3rd fish, but I've got my 3rd fish. It's a tiny little redfin. Try and get a bit of light angle. There we go. Tiny little redfin. See you later, mate. Hopefully I can find one about 10 times that big. That'd be nice. Rightio, fresh couple of worms on. Fresh couple of worms. Lines back in. Wash my hands in my bucket of water. And hope for another one. Preferably a bigger one. I'm not sure if I just had another nibble or whether it was the wind just blowing my rod around. I don't know what to do when I leave here. I don't know whether to go to the Waranga Basin or whether to go back to Greens Lake. I don't think I'll go to Lake Cooper. I think I've been having a bit of luck fishing at the Waranga Basin on sunset lately. I might do that. I might head over to the basin and fish there on sunset. Sit here for a couple of hours first. It's nice here in the sun. He's nibbling, he's nibbling. We've got a nibbler and got him. Is it bigger than the last one? It feels a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, Feels a bit bigger. What have I got? Is that a nice redfin? Nah, it is a little bit bigger, but I think he swallowed the hook a bit. That sort of, when that happens, their mouths open and they drag a bit. But anyway, it's taken me a while, but I've caught fish number 4. I want to put my finger in his thumb to get the photo, but his mouth's too small to get my thumb in. My finger in his thumb. Right. That's worth bragging about. I'm getting a photo anyway. Well, unfortunately that fish was hooked a little bit deep, so I'll throw that out there. The current will wash it downstream, and I'm sure something will find it. It'll be a water rat, a water bird, a cormorant, anything. Yabbies might even eat it. Rightio, look at that. That's a meal fit for a king redfin. I'll put that back out there and keep on waiting. 2 at Greens Lake, 2 in this channel, nothing at Lake Cooper, nothing downstream in other parts of this channel. Oh, that was a bite. Oh, there he goes. Very small nibble again. I suspect it's another very small redfin. Here he goes. Got him? Did I get him? No, I missed him. I better get this line back in. There's not a second to lose. Just had a nice bite on the long rod. Haven't had a single touch on the paternoster rig. It's all been on the running sinker rig, every single bite. There it goes. Got him. Oh, I missed him. How did I miss that? I said got him because the rod was bent when I picked it up. How did I miss that? That was a bite for sure. The wind was blowing the rod around and I was moving a fair bit, but that was a definite nibble. Oh, this wind is just relentless every day. Yesterday it was extremely windy. Today's actually a lot calmer than yesterday, but tomorrow it's meant to get really windy again like it was yesterday. This is the calm day in between the 2 windy days. Come on, come on, come on. He's nibbling and got him. Ha! My drag's pretty loose. He's only similar to the first 2. I'm not going to put a fresh worm on here because I'm about to pack up and go elsewhere. Fish number 3 from this spot and fish number 5 for the day. All small redfin. Oh well. I'm catching fish. If I'm catching fish, I'm happy. Even if they're not very big fish. I'm laying on my stomach. That was cool. One of the things that I really like about the DJI cameras over the GoPro is the clip mount. It's a magnet. It sits on there with a magnet, and these 2 clips hold the camera in. I can just push down on the bottom of those 2 clips, which opens the clips, and pull the camera off. So I can take the camera off my head for the slow-mo footage, and then just like this, bang, it's now back firmly on my head mount. Well folks, I'm going to move to another spot now. That's it for this spot. I've thoroughly enjoyed sitting here, and I can see myself coming back here and doing this type of fishing again. I could easily sit here now for the rest of the day. I'm in such a relaxed state, but I won't. I'm going to head upstream further up the channel to a bridge where I've caught redfin in the past and see if I can catch a redfin on a soft plastic. And then I'm going to make my way to one of my all-time favourite fishing spots, the Waranga Basin, where I'm going to fish the sunset, we'll call it the sunset bite, because hopefully the fish will be biting. Right, I'll try this bridge here for, I don't know, I'll give it 10 minutes or so, I suppose, and that'll do. If I don't get anything in 10 minutes or so, I'm heading to the basin. Well, there's been no luck here. I've been here for about 15 minutes, haven't even had a follow, nothing at all. Let's head to the Waranga Basin and hopefully there's some kind of a sunset bite window. The Waranga Basin. It's definitely a happy place. I love it here. Absolutely love it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to throw a bunch of worms in on a bait rod first. I'm going to put some bells on it. According to the Victorian Fisheries Handbook, I'm allowed to be, as long as I'm within 50 metres of my rod, and that's quite a generous distance, I can walk up and down here casting soft plastic. So I'll throw this in, put some bells on, then flick a few plastics around for a while. I can go way out there. I have been told that bells work better if the rod is more vertical. That's not gonna, maybe I'll clip it on over the whole eyelet thingy. These are a bit broken, these bells. That ought to work. No. Get under there. That'll do it. Can't be that hard. There we go. Perfect. Righto, the worm rod is in. I've got my soft plastic rod. I've got about an hour and a half left, but it's the best hour and a half of the day. I'll start off with this striped tiger nymph that I've had on for the last few spots, and if that doesn't work, I'll change to something else. Somebody told me recently, in order to get the best out of your bells, you want to have the fishing rod up really steep, but I don't really want to, because I like to have at least one runner behind the part of the rod holder that's going to save my rod. So it's a bit harder for the fish to pull the rod in. Just means I won't hear the bells as well. Got him. As soon as that hit the bottom, then something grabbed that. I was looking over there watching my my worm rod. I cast this out. It hit it before it even hit the bottom. I didn't even get a chance to start reeling it in. As soon as I took up the slack, there was weight there, and for a moment I thought it might have been a bit of grass. It's a tiny little redfin. Look at the size of that. Oh, there's a record breaker. I'm getting a photo of that. I must have hit it as it's either picked it up off the bottom or hit it as it was sinking. That is tiny. See you later, mate. Ha. Well, I'm on the board at the Waranga Basin. I was standing here just watching my rod and I just took up the slack like I just have now, and it was weight there already. I'm just watching my other rod, that's why I'm sort of staring back that way. Got him. Another one right in front of me, this one. A little bit bigger, this one. That's the fish of the day so far. Believe it or not. It says a lot about my day. Oh well. Any fish is a good fish. I'm loving it. See you later, mate. Was that 2 in 2 casts then? I think it was. That means that I'm on a redfin hat trick if it was. It's funny how they're willing to hit the soft plastic in here in the lake, and yet they wouldn't touch it in the channel. I caught those few fish in the channel on worms, but I couldn't get a touch on a soft plastic. I wonder if the water entering the channel, because that channel is fed from this lake, and it's be coming out of the bottom, so I wonder if the water in the channel is a lot colder than the shallows up here in the lake. That would be my guess. But again, this water's still, oh God, oh, had a touch just there. This water's still pretty bloody cold. It won't be long now. The water will be that little bit warmer, then I'll be able to walk way out there and cast out further. That sort of puts me in with a better chance of finding a larger fish, I reckon. And I can just get out that little bit deeper. I reckon I'm about 40 metres from my rod here. I'm allowed 50 metres. It's 50 metres and it's got to be a line of sight. If I go more than 50 metres, or if I'm at my camp and it's behind the bushes and I can't see it, then it becomes a set line. But I can still see it quite clearly, and I estimate I'm about 40 metres. I think I'm secretly hoping that I might catch a dirty great big carp on the worms. I can hear wings. Look up. So they're going to be a pelican or a swan, I reckon. Got him. Right in front of me. Dun -da -da. Dun -da 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 -dun. Going alright. I've already got 3. Go on. Now I know this nymph is working, the banana shock nymph, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to take that off and I'm going to go back to what I started with this morning, the new 2-inch striped tiger shad. The reason being, when you get a new lure, you've kind of got to build your confidence up with it. Like, it's not a go-to lure, it's not something you just tie on straight away until you know that it works. I caught a couple of trout on it at Greens Lake earlier this morning, so, sorry, a couple of redfin. So I'm going to put it on here and try and catch a few fish on it here as well. And that'll just increase my confidence in this new lure. It looks awesome in the water. I reckon, got him. Just about to say, I reckon I'm about 49.9 metres from my rod. This feels a bit bigger, but it's a fair way out. When they're out further, they generally feel bigger. It's not a big fish. Righto, mate. I'll get a quick pick of you anyway. See you later, mate. A little bit bigger. It's still not even close to being big enough. Well, that's good. That's what I need to happen. I need to catch a couple of fish on this. Just catching the 2 this morning, and that one now is already lifting my confidence in this new shad. We've all got our go-to lures, our favourite lures that we go to when the fishing's slow or when we first arrive at a spot. For me, my favourite go-to trout lure is a striped tiger nymph in black and gold colour. And the reason they become go-to lures is because they work. They work on a consistent basis. We catch fish on them regularly so that we know that we can tie them on and be in with a chance straight away. Our confidence is high, and that's what I'm trying to do now with these shads, these 2-inch shads. And I can already feel my confidence going up. I'm just coming to check my bait. I'm going to put some fresh worms on, and I just saw my first bust up of the night. Just a couple of little splashes of small fish jumping just out there. But I've got to be so careful not to catch the line on my other rod. There's a fish on my worms. I've just gone to reel the worms in and check the bait. And there's a fish on them. It feels like a very small fish. A little redfin. No smaller than any of the others. In fact, it's bigger than a couple of them. Right. How deep down is that hook? Mate, you don't even ring the bells. Right, now I've got the hook out, but I don't know whether he's going to go all that well. We'll send him on his way and wish him all the best. Go the worms. The worm rod strikes again. Dun, dun, dun. Aiming straight for the moon. It's 5 to 6. I've got about half an hour left. I reckon I can fish till about 6:30, 6:35, so might have about 40 minutes left if I'm lucky. I've decided I'm going to go back to a brighter colour. I'm going back to the banana shock, but this time in the 1.5-inch curltail grub. These have a little bit more movement in them than the nymphs. They've got that curl tail that dances around a bit. Alright, let's see how this goes. There's a bit of action on the worm rod here. Don't know whether the fish is still there or not. I might just leave that out. Take the bells off and check the bait because I just had a big bite on here. Is there a fish there? No, after all that. Right, now because the sun is setting, things are getting darker. I have changed the frame rate on my camera to 30 frames per second. I was on 60. And I might need to cast a bit further than that. I'll go out there and try. So yeah, the video might just look a little bit different because I'm filming at a slower frame rate now. You need good light to film at a high frame rate. Otherwise the video quality goes poor really quickly. Got him. I loaded up on that when I set the hook. It's only a very small fish. Look at the size of the thing. Lucky I didn't load up any harder. I would have taken its head clean off. That is tiny. I only get a photo of it against that moon. See you later, Tiny Tim. Go and grow a bit bigger. Hopefully I'll see you again next year and you'll be 4 times the size. Probably still be too small. Right, I've decided to make a subtle change. I've gone to a spinner. It's the French Touch Tackle Morpho spinner. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I've caught a seagull! Oh, you can't be serious. Oh, good, it got off. Oh, how did that happen? Did you see that? I cast out as the seagull was flying past, and there's been seagulls flying past all afternoon. It must have just hit the seagull as it was going past. One of those freaky things. Wow, I'm glad that got off. I would have got it. I would have reeled the seagull in and got it off, but that was a bit random. The seagull flew away safely, I'm very pleased to say. Let's check my worm rod. I must have had a bite. I heard the bells and they fell off the rod, so something must have given it a fair old yank. But is there anything still on there? No. Well, it's been a big day, but it's been a very enjoyable day, and now I'm looking forward to putting my cruise control on, putting some relaxing tunes on, and just driving home and chilling out. Now, the best thing about today is that I caught a few fish. It was slow. I didn't encounter any really red hot patches, but I caught a few fish. It's early spring. Things are still quite cold, but they're starting to warm up, and the fishing is just starting to warm up. What that means is as the weather warms up, the fishing's only going to get better. So it's started, the fishing, spring fishing has started, and it's only going to get better over the next couple of months, and that's the best takeout from this trip. Folks, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I can line that up with the moon. There we go.